Hello and welcome back. This is episode 8 of Hearthside, and today we're going to discuss familiars, loadouts, and what people have suggested for the wizard's tools that we have. We also might go over rituals when, try and get closer to finishing out ours as a quest line, and make ourselves knowledgeable on this little island. So let's get started. First off, I don't think this greenhouse is going to do it on mana production. We're barely building any up. We've only got 8%, and that will probably get taken as soon as this refreshes. But we'll discuss that. I also have found a glimmering cave of some sort, and so we have like these sprouts and crystal clusters that I might pop around really quickly. First things first, I'm going to make another arcane bow so we can keep the other one in display and use this one. We are going to do a break, amplify, AoE, all sorts of things on this bow. Pick up, and we will see what it does. I'm very excited. Let's make sure I have all of that. We did not have the glyph for AoE, so let's get that. It requires a firework star, which is gunpowder and dye. Gunpowder and dye. Excellent. We're also going to need a pickup, and that just requires 2 hoppers. And I think that's all we need for it. We're going to make a quick spell, and since it's already going to have a form, we don't need anything with that, so we don't need projectile. We're going to need break, amplify, double amplify to be able to pick up netherite. And here we come up against a problem. AoE is too powerful for your current spellbook, because that is a tier 2 spell. So, let's fix this. Right now, I believe we have the novice spellbook. We need the mage's spellbook. So we need some diamonds, some obsidian, blocks of quartz, and a blaze rod. Let's see if we've got those. And now we've upgraded our spellbook, so now we can accept tier 2 spells. There are 3 tiers to the spellbook, and a lot of the armors, but not all. Some of them have more tiers or mixes that you have to do to achieve certain armors, which I expect to have to do with the Technomancer armor that I plan on using. And I think we're going to call this spell... It feels like it's going to be mining, because we've got the break, the amplifies, the AoE, the pickup, so... we're just going to call it Block Breaker. Sounds a little cool, but it's also very accurate. And we're going to put our bow on the table and set the spell. So we're going to go into the distance a bit, and I'm going to try this bow out. This is already rocky, craggy terrain, so I think I'm going to do it here. Well, I am getting some blocks. Interesting. Is there anything I should have with the bow? That is because I did not have any arrows in my inventory. So let's grab some arrows. Now let's see what happens. Hey! Neat! I think I may need to apply a few more AoEs to this, but it is bringing the blocks to me automatically. See? That is definitely helpful for mining from a distance. Thank you very much for the suggestion, and we will just keep on a-going. You can also do this with a crossbow, and you can enchant it, apparently. And the enchantments can make it to where it is shooting multiple arrows and mining a lot from a distance. So, that's pretty excellent to have on hand. So that goes into the backpack, along with apparently a lot of just other random seeds and such. And an artifact I haven't figured out. Scarf of Invisibility. Oh, that would be a pain. I would forget to take it off all the time. And then be talking to you guys while I'm invisible, and anyway. Thank you very much for the suggestion. I do like it quite a bit. So, the next thing we were going to talk about is familiars. So let's take a look at those. We haven't gotten all the charms done, but we do have... You know what? Actually, we're going to need that notebook. A worn notebook. Tattered tome is what I meant to say. Now, we have a lot of familiars. We can get, of course, an Amethyst Golem familiar. I quite love that one, like I said. Bookworms, Drigme, Flare Cannon, Flashjack, Siren, Starbuncle, Whirly Sprig, and Wixie. So I'm going to go through each of these really quickly, and we'll discuss it. This familiar reduces knockback taken by half and knocks back any attackers. So I get knockback and get to not have to take. Yeah, knockback. This, giving the Golem an Amethyst Shard will grant 3 minutes of shielding. That's nice. Very defensive. Bookworms will pick up nearby items and XP orbs within 5 blocks of the players. It kind of acts like a magnet, and I think I have too many options for magnets to really take that one too seriously. A Drigme will increase the damage of earth spells by 2, and has a chance to increase the looting of slain enemies, so we get a little bit of looting with that one. Not against it. I've never seen a flare cannon, by the way. Not sure what it looks like or what it is. A flare cannon familiar increases the damage of fire spells by 2 and reduces projectile-based spells cost by 20%. You can feed it magma cream to get a short fire resistance buff. Ah. So that gives a little bit of fire resistance. Let's talk about the Flashjack. A Flashjack familiar increases the damage of lightning spells and reduces movement-based spells costs by about 20%. You can feed it a short speed and you can feed it a flash pine to get a short speed and night vision buff, obtained by performing a ritual of binding. Near all of these familiars, by the way. A Siren familiar will increase the damage of water spells by 2. Will also give Dolphin Grace 2 to the summoner while in water. That one is actually useful because I hate getting stuck in water. Genuinely hate getting stuck in water. Ooh, a Starbuncle familiar will grant you speed 2. Additionally, using a gold nugget will grant the owner a short duration of scrying for gold ore. Whirly Sprigs will reduce the cost of elemental earth glyphs by half, and grants bonus saturation when consuming food. Wixies will increase the duration of potions that you apply, and they will accept basic potion reagents in exchange for applying the Tier 1 potion result. The Pixie will apply harmful potions to enemies during combat. That's actually very nice. Well, all of these sound great, but to be completely honest, out of all of them, I'm feeling the Amethyst Golem. 1, it's really, really cute, and 2, I just want enemies to get away from me whenever they're coming at me, so I am going to have knock back any attackers. So we're gonna go with that one. We've got an Amethyst Golem, but we can also get another Amethyst Golem, which we're going to need to do. So let's get our ritual stuff out and make an Amethyst Golem and then bind him. Of course, we just need our Ritual Brazier and our Tablet of Binding, or I'm sorry, Tablet of Awakening for this portion. Of course, I will need a Tablet of Binding. Right, and there's our Amethyst Golem. Here's our Tablet of Binding. And there we are. I have a familiar. Yay, let's see what it is like. I am excited. But first, let's take a quick nap. So there's the familiar unlocked. And I believe we have to go into our spellbook here. And there he is! Oh my goodness! So does he come with me like a pet would? Oh my goodness, he does! You are my favorite. You are my favorite on the island. Excellent. So, familiars are useful. They can just be a passive buff, but also They're friends. Remember that? They're friends. They follow you around. He has 100 hit points. He's pretty tanky. He is pretty tanky. Look at him. Oh my goodness. Oh, right. Next up then. Let's talk about the armor sets for ours. They are very interesting and they do build upon themselves. So they're going to take a little minute to get in order. Also, I did have a viewer. I've been wearing this lucky scarf and I never unlocked it. Sorry, I interrupted myself, but I will get back to that. I will. I just had to upgrade it. I don't know why I thought I didn't unlock it. Oh, and I never finished. Hey, we're ready to unlock a new point of the pocket piston. Let's see what we got. Oh, I guess I have to do this little puzzle real quick. I will be right back. And increases the maximum interaction range with the world by 33% is what we just unlocked. Long reach. I am so excited about that because I do. That's super useful. That's super useful. Unfortunately, I do not quite have enough levels to level more stuff up, but maybe we've got some experience shards in here. We do have some experience shards in here. Let's see how that helps. Ooh, 10 levels immediately off. Excellent. Let's try it again. Right, so our loadout looks like this right now. We've got a lucky scarf, amulets of mana regen and mana boost, night vision goggles, 2 pocket pistons, a ring of greater discount, an improved divine pearl ring. That has better casting movement speed. I'm not sure. I just think it was pretty. I thought it was pretty. Honestly, I picked it up and I thought it was pretty. We have a leather belt on. We have some kitty slippers, some running shoes, and a spore sack because you should always have just like a pocket of spores in case anything untoward happens. I mean, I've got spells and swords. Anyway. So let's get our rewards for getting a familiar. And those were our artifacts loadout. Right now, I am not wearing armor that matters. And that is kind of the point of the next section. So we're going to talk about what armor we want to use. I want to use the Technomancer's armor because that feels right. So let's take a look at what we need. So I can use any old Arcanist's hat or Battle Mage's hood, any of the basic Ars armors to get to this point. So let's talk about that because this is going to be a little bit of a grind and we may not get to this armor today. So in order to make the Ars armors, you're going to need Mage Bloom fibers and any armor that you're wanting to wear. If I remember right, you'll be going from Iron tier, Gold tier, Diamond tier, but in the end, that portion does not matter to us. We can use any which one to make the Technomancer's armor. So let's move on to that portion. I'm just going to make some iron armor. What, I've never made an iron helmet? Oh my goodness. And there we are on those. Now, let's get some Mage Bloom. I'm glad that anytime you die, I can just summon you back. That's amazing. We should name this familiar. I could make a name spell, or I could get a name tag for them. So, anybody have any good ideas? My first thought for some reason was Bartholomew. He looks like a Barty. He does. Alright, we have the Arcanist stuff. So, I chose the Arcanist stuff because it's just the lowest tier. I have a lot of iron. I have endless iron. However, you can choose any, and they will have different buffs to them. So, for instance, if I remember right, the Sorcerer's garb generally gives you more mana, and the Battle Mage gives you less mana and less tiers that you can put on, like, with threads. That will be a later thing. Threads are super useful. As you can see, there's a tier 1 and an empty. You get 30 maximum mana and +1 mana regen, that sort of thing. So all of these things apply. Now, if I understand correctly, with the Technomancer's garb, we are going to have to take this armor set up into the higher tiers. I'll show you what it looks like on first, and we can discuss that. So we need tier 3 pieces for everything. And in order to get things to tier 3, It shows you magic armor upgrade in here. I'm going to need warp pearls, and I'm going to eventually need a chorus fruit. To get to tier 2, we just need blaze rods, which we already have. So we'll at least upgrade to tier 2, and then we'll look how we can get chorus fruit. And to upgrade our armor tiers, we're also going to need some more mana. I might do that cactus trick just to get us going. You know what? No, Rocky. You are a Rocky. That's what you are. I've got a bunch of name tags, and I'm going to immediately change that. Wonderful. Let's do the cactus trick and upgrade this armor to tier 2 at least, and then we may have to go and fight a dragon today. I wasn't looking forward to that, but we may have to. And now we're getting some source real quick, so I'm just gonna upgrade these pieces. It shouldn't change the way they look, but just in case that it does, let's see how it looks first off. Oh boy, that is some quintessential wizard. I have a pointy hat. And I have robes on. I don't dislike it, but it is a little stuffy, isn't it? It's a little stuffy, and that's a lot of cactus just building up. Let's get this upgraded so that we can tear down this setup. Let's see if they look a little different. Nope, exactly the same in tier 2 as they are in tier 1. Good to know. Good to know. We're matching, buddy. We've got purple. We got a lot of purple. We're gonna need a few bits of netherite and a mark of mastery, which means I need a Wilden tribute. So this is going to take me a minute. The Wilden tribute really isn't the problem. It's because I mean I have to kill the large Wilden, but and that if you keep distance and just grind at it, you can succeed at killing the Wilden. But that isn't going to be the hardest part. Honestly, it's going to end up being the resource gathering. Excuse me, buddy. So for the moment, we may move on from that, and I will get to that upgrade a little bit later. So I went to the nether for a little bit on my way to get some netherite, but I think we're going to switch tactics. We don't have much more time in this video, so I think I'm going to go over rituals and what we kind of want to have in this island. My first thought was a ritual of flight, but then I was like, well, I put a bunch of balconies on my house so that I could, use waystones. So we're going to stick with that and decide what other type of rituals we could use. Now, we have quite a few of them. We have tablets of cloud shaping, which will change the weather depending on how you augment it. You can make it storm. You can have a tablet of warping, and that does something, but I'm not sure what. Oh, I think it'll warp you to a specific place when the ritual is complete. A tablet of overgrowth. I'm thinking we're gonna do a tablet of restoration, because it's almost like a beacon. We could also summon animals just constantly, or just reforest the area. Ooh, what is the tablet of sanctuary? Ooh, this is one we might do. Actually, it denies hostile mobs from naturally spawning in a 32 block radius. You can augment it with rotten flesh to increase the radius by 1 each, up to 128. I don't think we need that much. I think I might augment it like twice. It costs source once a minute if spawn is denied. So yes, we're going to try this one. And then we're going to set up a relay network and a way of getting source quickly. Just a ton of source, either a relay network or whatnot. We gotta make this look nice, and I think I have some ideas for that. So first, let's grab ourselves a tablet of restoration. I'm not sure where my ritual brazier went. I lose it all the time. Made another ritual brazier. I think I actually want our ritual brazier to be like off to the side over here. And then the thing that gets it, the source, we need to talk about that. We have a few different ways of getting source. We've talked about it with the agronomic source links and such. Let's see what other source links we have. Available to us, we have the mycelial source link and the volcanic source link. This one takes food, this one takes heat. An alchemical source link, which takes potions. A vitalic, which means anything that breeds in this area will be counted towards source. And a fluid source link, which I'm not sure what that is. Either which way, I would need a liquefied source bucket, and that looks like a pain to get at the moment. I can combine a amethyst shard and a greater experience gem heated to make that. Interesting. But I think we're going to probably actually go with an agronomic source link with a better sourceberry garden that connects up to the mycelial source link, and we'll make it all look nice. Alright, we've got our sourceberry set up over here. Now let's really quickly determine how we want to get it to the... Ooh, pedestals. Pedestals work. I completely forgot about that. We're going to pop the agronomic source link over here. You are also going to be storing items, but we need to tell you what items to store, otherwise you'll store them and store weird things. So we're going to say, I would very much like you, you store items here. And then we'll put the mycelial source link right here. And when these berries grow, that starbuncle will come out here, harvest them, and put them where they need to be. And there you see it. He did it, and now this mycelial source link is absorbing. So we're gonna put a source jar here. But I think... Now, there's two ways that you can take source from one place to another. One is the relays, one is ender jars of source. I personally like the look of the relays more. So, we're just going to set a regular source jar down over here. And all of this system works. It's already got source. Now let's talk about relays. Relays are interesting. They will move source from one place to another, so we're going to just use 2 on this beginning island, and I think we may put it on top of the house. I may put it up there. And there we go. I don't know if it will relay the source from there. We will see. It might be too far away. So actually, we may have to make 3 of those. And then we're going to put the source relay itself, this one that will deliver to the ritual, right on top of this. I kind of like that look. Or does that look terrible? I can't decide. Get in the comments. Let me know if that one looks weird. So, to set up our relays, to gather source, we need to say, hey, we would like you to take from here to here. In fact, let's see if it will work just this way. So I'm going to say, this position is set, and I want you to take from there. Oh, it's going right through the house because it's not a liquid. It is an energy form. So now we're going to say take position set up there. I love the fact that I can interact with things very far away now. And say send to here. Ah, too far away. Maybe a stop off at the mine. Okay. All right, now you see. Look at that. Is it traveling in funky ways? And there's a spider. Hello. This is why we need this ritual. Right here. I mean, I know I'm getting drops from a few different things in here. But yes, I would actually prefer to not have so many random drops. Just stuff that I really need. So, let's get this ritual started. After the source builds up a little bit. Actually, we have plenty of source there. I might put a secondary source jar over here just to have a backup. So we're gonna pop this, right over here, I think. And that should be fine. We got source jars all over the island, but it is working. And maybe we tell you to send to here. There we go. Plenty of source. That's filling up very fast. Nice little system we have going. Oh, I love it. I love the way it looks. Wonderful. Well, let's get that ritual started. No more spiders. And now that's running. So, if you had a space, now it's showing, I think, where it's effective. But it should be bigger than that, so I'm not entirely sure why it's like that. Oh, I used the Tablet of Restoration. My bad, you know? We were gonna do another tablet, weren't we? We were gonna do a tablet of, like, peace or something. What was it? A tablet of sanctuary. Whoops. Ooh, that needs sea lanterns, though. Oh, no. I don't have that. I don't have the stuff for that one. Guess we're on for restoration for now. Later on, we may end up changing this to a tablet of sanctuary so that nothing spawns. But for now, we have starbunkles stuck on roofs, and I just think we're going to have to deal with that fact. I think it'll be fine. I think you'll still be able to get what you need. But I could probably put a stairway down for you off the side of the house somewhere. And we will act like there is a growth of amethyst back here. You should be able to figure it out. Maybe. Alright, so now, anytime we're near our wizard's tower, we will have restoration. Kind of like a beacon, except a lot less small area. And it says it's sending to one location. Can these relays send to multiple locations? I'm gonna try sending some source over here. Oh, buddy. Well, that's great. Well, now we have plenty of source. But unfortunately, we don't have plenty of time. I think that's all we've got for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.